Have you ever looked at something that your church is doing, or that another church is doing perhaps nearby, and you're not really sure why or how, but it just works?
But we've really experimented with doing things out in the town, with different groups in the town, and bringing them into worship.
It was a way of bringing people together in this synod, particularly the Southern Partnership. So I really found, first, the coffee mornings were enormously helpful. You always gave something else for us to think about.
Trespacious grew out of Scarborough and now has over 450 members nationwide and even some overseas guests.
But it's opened up so many possibilities, and for the Nativity this year, we've literally just given the families part of the Nativity story and say, just do with it what you like.
We were concerned that there was an increase in the number of individuals and families who were facing food poverty during lockdown, and knew that some would slip through the net.
We also put booklets on the railing from start, how do you make a new start with God, and try praying.
We've got the inside here at Bilton, but it's looking at things that we've been able to do on the outside. So we have a row of hedges at Bilton. We've been putting things on there. We've been, whether it's chicks, whether it's daffodils that are good to go on shortly, or whether it's the angels at Christmas, all knitted by lots of people associated with the church and beyond, to actually put it on to offer as free gifts.
To giving out hot chocolate when we've been able to do so during lockdown, and just being a friendly face in our community.
So what's coming back is really exciting. And I think we shouldn't be too worried about what comes back, because this is our church family making the service, you know, and I just think to encourage people to have a go. And I like your bit about messy, because all our services are messy, and it doesn't matter. And the fact that you can make mistakes and you do have a laugh about things, oh heck, you know, it just makes us, that's what family life is. And I think it's really quite, it's just wonderful.
In that time, we had provided 2,785 meals. It goes to show that two small churches with ageing congregations can make a huge difference. The church buildings may have been closed, but the church is very definitely open by living, sharing, and showing Christ's love and presence in the world.
We were given a whole series of in-stock chocolate that couldn't be sold by a major retailer. So at both churches, we handed those out. We had tables outside church to give them out free.
And then I guess for me, the most important thing has been the Zoom Bible study.
And it's a challenge, but it's really quite exciting. It opens up such a lot of possibilities.
Through Advent, we worked with local schools. One of our primary schools and a local SEN college worked to provide some artwork for our windows. We called it Light a Window, to provide light to our community, showing the Christian message through Advent.
And delivering cards to the businesses, to say we're praying for them and thinking about them in both our areas and to our neighbours. That was something that was just key to us, to try and say, well, the church can't do things on the inside, so we'll do it all on the outside.
We've used our railings on the outside of our building to give good news, either through Remembrance Sunday displays or Advent displays, and more recently now, just through Lent, we're doing sayings of Jesus, and each one has a question as to how we might be able to be good news in our communities, in our lives, to our streets.
St Andrew's in Scarborough, where we began, are doing just that by looking into what missionally engaged church looks like in a tourist town.
So, just being relational. It works. It just works.
And it just works.
On Saturday the 10th of April, we're going to be gathering together on Zoom across all 5 of the Northerly Synods to have a look, to explore, and to hear about more things, more than we've just heard there, that just work. God has a strange way of doing things sometimes. Things that in ways we just don't understand. We might never understand. But they just work. And sometimes by placing our faith in God and letting those things just happen, just work, then we can do extraordinary things. So come along on the 10th of April, and we would love to see so many of you there from all different areas and synods, from cities, from villages, from countryside, all over the place, to gather together and look at things that just work.